Welcome, everyone, and thanks for joining us and being a part of the Nikki and Steven Live experience. Nikki and Steven Live, a place where Nikki and Steven can chat, hang, and connect with the amazing Stikker fam.
What up, mother cluckers? What are you doing with your life if you don't put pineapple on pizza? What?
Solo is the worst Star Wars movie ever created.
Toss a coin to
I didn't mean actually.
Oh, Valley of Broom.
Stop, dude. This is dumb, I'm leaving.
Join in on our movie nights.
I can't watch this. Fuck, wait for him to get in! Oh, God. No. No. That's a no from me. Oh, baby feet. No.
Boom.
Oh, fuck it. Can we all give Mr. John Wick a round of applause? A whole round.
Nom nom. Nom nom.
In the eye! In the eye! Ay!
Your favorite show's over? Be there for the rap party.
This is literally the most underrated television show I can personally say I have ever seen.
Word.
That was just such an epic moment that it was just, his speech was so good. Such a massive impact on the universe of Vikings.
There is nothing that you're gonna tell me that's like, he didn't survive. Because, no. La 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 la, I hear nothing.
If you thought this had a happy ending, you haven't been paying attention.
I cry every single time I see that scene again because it's so... I was shaking.
And of course, we are playing some games.
Yep, we're still in a bunch, bitches. Oh my God.
I'm an aggressive accuser.
Really? You are. You're a dick.
Sorry guys, I had to bounce.
Oh my God.
Oh, you missed! Oh, you missed!
Ah, no! Intimidate? I don't know. Oh my God. Oh God! Oh my God! It worked! Okay, so I suck it, you blow it.
I got this fucking thing dangling from my gun now.
That's what he said!
Run! Run!
Run! No!
What?
Bitch!
Oh my God.
Wow. Oh my God! Oh my God! Fucking finally! Holy shit! Ah, shit! Ah! Oh my God! Dude, serpentine! Ah! I'm gonna pee my pants, I swear to God! Fuck this shit all day.
Hello? What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Please don't tell Nikki that she's gonna cry. That's a spoiler. Long time no, well, most of y'all weren't here last night. But I was streaming till 1:30 last night. Watching some Andor. I don't know how I got everything done that I needed to get done yesterday and up to now, but I got it done. Do my eyes look tired? I think this is going to be a wild discussion today. Of course, literally as I go live, I get a ping for work. Figures. It's usually how it works. And or slaps. It does slap. Nikki's job is primarily mommy. And my primary job is social media video producer, editor, manager, content strategist for a big brand. That's what we do. Nikki's got the hardest job in the world. Nothing ever happens during episode 9 of Game of Thrones. Yeah. You can probably skip it and just jump right into 10. It feels like this first season has gone by fast. I don't like that. I'm really gonna miss this show. I feel like we say it every week, Southern. Andor's awesome. Great show. Again, I'll keep saying it, like, the people who don't like it, I'm pretty surprised by some of it. Not all of it. Hot D, yeah, Hot D is awesome. No need to recommend Rings of Power. It's on the schedule. If we find time to get it in, we'll get it in. It's not a high likelihood that we will, just to be honest. But Game of Thrones is my #1 favorite show of all time. Oh, by the way, we haven't gotten a like, a review, anything on the podcast since we brought it back, especially on the Apple side of things. So I'm going to spam this in the chat. Go check out the audio version of the podcast, please. And rate and review it for us. That would be really helpful to everyone who's here. Thank you very much. I'm like multitasking right now. I mean, that is the most boring shit on TV, so it might help you sleep. What is? Oh, you were making a joke. I missed the last part of your comment. You're saying that it's boring. We publish the podcast to, at least we try to publish it to every single podcast site there is. Season 2 book spoilers are hitting socials, like seriously? Just stop. What's fucking wrong with people? Ugh. Like I said it before, I'll say it again. People who purposely try to ruin stuff and spoil things, like, those are some of the most miserable people on the planet, I'd have to imagine. You want my input on the Jon Snow show? Some people are not interested in it. Since how bad they messed up with the character, I don't see where they would really go with the story, in my opinion. Look. Everyone is going to say that they're not interested. Season 8 ruined Game of Thrones. God. I'm excited for it. Jon Snow's my favorite character of all time. Do I love what happened to him in the final season? No. I don't love it. He kind of felt like he became like a side character almost. But 100% going to watch his show. And it's hard to say what story there is to tell because I don't think there's any source material on anything. Well, there isn't, because in the source material, Jon Snow's still dead. So, we don't know what the story is. Hopefully there's someone with a creative idea out there to tell that story. But, yeah, I'm fucking excited for a Jon Snow show. And I hope that they put the right people behind it. And we see where it goes. And that's coming from someone who generally doesn't like spin-off ideas. Now, if they try to use that as a way to, like, retcon anything or change anything from the original show, I'm out. I don't believe in that. Regardless of how much I like or, well, you would never want anything you like, retcon. Regardless of how much I don't like something, I don't believe in retconning it. Because someone out there likes it. Dude, get over the D&D thing, man. He was they were one small part of the problem. You can't put all your focus, as long as D&D is responsible for some of the greatest episodes of television ever. Can't forget that. The hate for them it drives me kind of nuts, to be honest. I know people, like, y'all are entitled to your opinion, and you could you could basically scapegoat whoever you want, or blame whoever you want for the problem. They still had bosses. Yes, when they had source material. Without it, it fell apart. And whose fault is that? Hello? How are you gonna blame? Okay, so this is the thing that I always talk about with these amazing storytellers like George Lucas, George R.R. Martin. They have this amazing story, and people are tasked with putting it on screen to tell that story, to adapt their story into a movie, a show, whatever. Do you know how hard it is to finish someone else's story when they're literally god tier content creators? Like, George R.R. Martin as a writer is god tier. And you're gonna expect anyone else to finish his story and do it well? No, it doesn't work that way. It's just like look what we're seeing with the sequel trilogy. Someone else tried to finish George's story, and it sucked. The whole thing was poo-poo. That's like the expectation that anyone, regardless of how talented they are, could possibly finish off George's work is an insanely impossible expectation to live up to. That's impossible. No one else knows the story better than the creator. No one else is going to care as much as the product as the creator. No one else is going to be as delicate with the story. Then they took on more than they could have handled? No. They did what their job was. George failed them. If HBO wasn't happy, they should have removed them. And book readers are always going to be disappointed with how things play out. Always. I don't think I've heard any book readers on anything ever come out and be like, yeah, the movie nailed it. Even I hear Harry Potter fans complaining about the movies. I heard movies did a really good job. George is never going to finish his book. It's never going to happen.
There's a baby kid.
My point is that putting all the blame on D&D is bullshit. George is at fault. HBO is at fault. And yeah, D&D deserves blame as well. It's an everybody's problem. It's not one single group. Because again, D&D had bosses.
Can I blame you as one single group for stuff?
Sure.
Okay.
You'll never be able to take an amazing novel and turn it into a perfect piece of visual content.
Oh my god.
What happened?
I just ran over my toe.
Oh.
Back!
There's no budget in a novel. You could write as many words as you want. You could be as descriptive as you want. There is no limit to what you could write in a story. But there's a shit ton of limits when you're trying to make a movie or a show. I can't get down with the whole it's all their fault idea. I can't.
You can't get down with the sickness?
No.
What?
I haven't read it either, but the final episode left many fans hanging dry. I don't get people denying that. I don't think anyone denies that. There's no question that it was rushed. There's no question that certain things played out were kind of silly.
I even said that. During the first episode of us watching it, I was like, this feels rushed.
I just gave your podcast a 5-star rating. Thank you, Jay
You
King.
didn't have to do that. That's really nice.
Appreciate it. It's like what they say. People say that there's two sides to every story. In reality, there's like really three sides to every story because it's one side, two side, and then the truth. And everyone always brings up the Star Wars thing. There's no proof of that. That's just speculation and assumption. And God forbid that they actually wanted to move on with their lives and get onto a new project. Especially when they realized they weren't actually getting support from the creator. God, how dare they?
You're real sassy today, aren't you?
I just like the D&D thing just it triggers me.
Apparently.
Because they're not the only ones. They're not the again, be careful pulling on that, please.
I know. I'm just trying to what happened here? I think a Uba happened here.
Maybe.
It's all tangled up.
There's blame to go around. Everybody
Trisha.
wants to move on. It's the same reason why actors don't reprise their roles. There's more to life than one project.
Word.
And again, I'm not saying they created a perfect final season, because obviously it's not. It's still miles ahead of most other content that I've watched out in the friggin' world out there.
You'll float too, y'all. You'll float too. This kind of feels like those douchey dudes that wear like Ed Hardy and shit with like the bedazzled jeans and things.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like that a little bit.
There's literally nothing that anyone could say that would make me change my opinion of there's blame to go around.
Hi friends! What's up, kids? Amber! Oh my god.
Why
What's
would
up,
we
Mike?
change the subject? We're talking about Game of Thrones.
What?
That's what this is for.
I know. This is what it is. Oh shit.
Your notebook.
Fuck. Do I need it? Probably not.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Or I'm all probably not, and you're like, yeah.
I don't think it's the best show ever. I think
Hi, Southern.
there's like a couple other shows that I personally put above it in terms of best.
Don't you know that y'all are my kids? Y'all are my kids. So what's up, kids?
My favorite submission in jiu-jitsu is probably... That's not a submission.
Sorry.
I don't know. The one I go to the most is probably my pipe choke or bread cutter choke, or I don't know what people call it. I put Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, and Black Sails ahead of Game of Thrones in terms of quality. But Game of Thrones is my number one favorite. Easily my number one favorite show. Amber Darko in the house.
I'm hungry.
I also like Kimura Locks a lot.
I'm still really hungry.
I'm starving.
I had like a half a cucumber. That's what she said. And I'm still hungry.
Dude.
Watch your arm. There you go. Stream Elements sucks. Is that Ray or Rye? Anthony, thank you for the 5. Also, thank you, Trisha, for your donation. Thank you, ma'am.
Oh, you got that one, okay.
Dude. Steven. Okay. We're ready. Now we're ready.
No.
Get rid of the green pen. Fuck the green pen. It's all about the black pen. Bitches. Even though the green pen is erasable. So.
Erasable?
Erasable. It is. It's erasable. It's erasable. Yes.
I don't know
Thank
if we're
you,
gonna.
Trisha.
I don't know if we're gonna watch Vikings Valhalla. I don't know.
Ooh, I want to. I might want to watch it offline. I might just watch it. I'm all caught up on Handmaid's Tale. Fuck. That show is crazy.
You think Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul is a lot more simple to pull off? I completely disagree.
Ooh, that's really good.
Better
writing.
Call Saul is a prequel and a sequel and its own show, all standalone, while not creating any gaps or any story holes. And
Girl.
like Southern just said, Better Call Saul, anything but it might be one of the most complicated shows ever created.
But it is erasable. This is the
She's not gonna watch Vikings Valhalla offline.
pilot friction. These are so good. They write really nice and, again, erasable. Sorry. Pens. Brought to you by Pens. It's, Jen, it's a hard watch. It's a hard watch. It's very dark. It's a lot, that show. Handmaid's Tale is not for the faint of heart. It's a lot. I'm good, guys. I'm good. Thank you so much for asking, Luke.
See, there's a comment right there. I didn't finish the books, but D&D cut a lot of content from George's books that in order for him to help them with the final story, they're basically asking for a new story to be written.
Yeah. Vampire Academy? Which one is that? I'm not familiar.
If they went word for word by the book, it'd be a 500 season show.
Oh, but that would be awesome. I'd still watch it.
The book is so like overload on information and stuff that like it's almost an impossible task to even translate that into a show.
Jen, it's not so much hating men, it's hating bad men. That's the difference. It's the bad men. We don't like those. The show really shows you who's a bad guy and who's a good guy.
What's that?
For What It's Worth. FWIW. For What It's Worth. Or TLDR. Too long. Didn't read.
I mean, again, you guys aren't going to be able to convince me otherwise just because I see the bigger picture and I blame everyone. Everyone's at fault. So I agree with people who think it's D&D's fault, but I don't agree with the fact that it's all their fault.
Pretty Nikki!
Everything gets spread amongst everyone because everyone is at fault.
Paul, you're not, despite what you think, like, your mystique of being this tough guy, you're not a tough guy. You're a big old softie.
No, we're not going to watch Money Heist. No, I'm not hyped for UFC 280. I don't really watch UFC anymore. I follow it, but I don't really watch it. I definitely don't pay for it.
Hey, boo, hey.
It's like $85 a pay-per-view now.
Ew.
It's a lot.
That's what I call my children. I call them boo-boo. Even though some people call poop boo-boo, that is not what I call my babies. When I'm yelling during softball, it's like, go boo-boo! Shut up, Paul. You know we love you. You're just a gummy bear. You're probably full of them now, aren't you?
I don't buy the swords.
Oh yeah, we don't. People have been like super awesome and bought us swords. Thank you guys. Thank you for the shirt.
I have
shirt compliments.
Like, I have children and bills to pay. I'm not spending hundreds of dollars on swords.
You know he fucking would. He fucking would though. If it was a lightsaber.
I haven't bought one yet, so you can't say that.
I'm waiting for the day.
I've never bought one.
When you say I got bills or whatever, no, it's just that Steven never buys anything for himself. He literally won't. He won't do it. I'm the one who buys all this shit.
You know that trending TikTok going around of like, post a reason why you're broke.
You need to clip that. Speaking of clips.
But yeah, Stark Sister would be amazing to have. That. Once I get through this work dilemma, we'll start the podcast.
Yes. You guys, if you see something during one of our videos or one of our live streams and you're like, that shit's funny, clip it. Put it in the Discord. We're going to use it for TikTok or shorts or whatever. So feel free. You guys should have fucking clipped that because that was perfect. By the way, also, you suck.
You could clip from everything. You could clip a video from 3 years ago and share it.
That's true.
You could clip anything that's posted on YouTube now.
Viserys or Robert?
Oddly enough,
Robert.
We got a little bit more time with Viserys than King Robert.
That's true. No, we're just starting Ghost.
We haven't even started yet.
That's also true. I just got here.
We've got a minute because I'm dealing with some work shit right now.
Did I mention I'm hungry?
Chantal,
because I'm
it.
hungry. Ah, thank you. I saw somebody else who was also a first-time watcher, and also thank you very much. Yes, Uhtred's sword is freaking bomb. It's amazing. I need to talk about something. There's these creators online who I thought were like so wholesome. Like we watch them at dinner time with my children for most of the stuff. And I love them.
Don't say who.
I'm not gonna tell who. And I love them, and I feel like yes, this is a tangent. Thank you so much, Zeely. It's a tangent. And I love them, and we watch them literally every single day. And when they don't post a video, it's like, well, let's just go back and watch an old video. I saw something from one of a paid, like a behind the scenes, like paid extra night out or whatever it was, where they were literally talking about something sexual with their partner. And I was like, I'm never watching them again now. The way that the vulgarity of which they were talking made me so disgusted. I can't watch them again, and I can't show my children them again. It's like, how, by speaking about your partner that way, are you trying to make me envision you that way? Why would you talk about your partner and their parts like that? Like, I was so grossed out.
Thanks, Jackie.
I was like, I can't watch these people again. I can never do it again. I don't know if you guys have ever felt like that. Like somebody talking about something that makes it so vulgar that you're like, I'm never doing this again. No, not the Try Guys. I feel bad for the Try Guys. Not Ned. Fuck Ned. But like the other Try Guys, I felt so bad for them. You can tell that they've been blindsided by this and they are doing their best. What show you got you to cry the most?
That's pretty wild. Like
Train to Busan.
It's like in my brain, like I just got caught up on that whole Try Guy thing. Like in my brain, I'm like, how could you not know if your best friend was fucking around like
Honestly,
that? But then I think of my personal situation where it's like my literal best friend, if I didn't have a brother, would have been my best man in our wedding, lived an entire alternate life for 20 years, 15 years, and I had no clue.
Yeah.
So it's like, dang.
But, yeah, Jen,
I had no idea who those people were.
I am the one with the innuendos. But the way that they spoke about...
Oh, they weren't joking. They were
literally talking about how much they love to do one particular action. And I'm like... I don't know. I mean, in the comment... I saw it on a TikTok. And the comments were not great either. They were like... Ew. Like, why would you talk about this? Like, I watch you with my children. Like, yucky. Why would you say that? But... what happened to the Try Guys? Well, it's all over YouTube. You could definitely find a video about it. But basically, Ned, the redheaded guy who basically made his entire life about I love my wife, cheated on his wife with one of the other members of the company. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna put a pause on work. So.
Right, Amber? Like I don't want to hear that. Like I don't. Like it's funny when you make a joke, but like when you like get into it, dude, I actually don't want to know.
Speaking of getting into it, let's get into it.
Let's get in. Don't forget to hit record.
I'll keep my eye on work as this goes, but.
Your bestie's ex. Oof.
So.
A Game of Thrones
Okay.
plot. Right, sorry.
So we're gonna go through this, and then these are obviously the same, but read all of them, and then we'll hit
Thank
on
you
it.
for color coordinating them.
Yeah. So recording. It didn't crash.
I don't know.
All right, you guys ready? We're gonna officially start the podcast. I feel like this is gonna be a really crazy conversation.
Oh god.
Ready?
Yeah.
And now the moment you've all been waiting for.
It's time again for another episode of the Stikker Podcast with your hosts, Nikki and Steven.
We're gonna do that again
Why?
because the desktop audio is down. I don't think it's played.
Oh fuck. Doing it again.
I don't think they heard it, so it doesn't matter.
Thank you guys. Thank you, Funko. Sorry guys, we're gonna get into this.
Did the audio pick up in the middle?
And you can hear that.
That's fine. Actually, I should close that.
You can definitely hear that. You heard it? Okay, you guys heard it.
The whole thing or just part of it?
Well, then maybe you should redo it again
We're
because
definitely redoing
we started talking over the end of it. So
Yeah.
one more time!
And now, the moment you've all been waiting for.
It's time again for another episode of the Stikker Podcast with your hosts, Nikki and Steven.
Hey! It feels like we got a really big one today.
Okay.
I don't really feel like I've got anything to say off the top
Wait.
outside of tooting my own horn
Liar.
and just talking about how flippin' busy I've been the last 3 days, and I think I've got everything done. I mean, we're here live now. Preparing for the podcast was one of those things I needed to do. Got it done. We have a rundown of everything we need to get done. I'm on like 4 hours of sleep, I think.
You're doing a great job.
So, yeah, we're here. We made it. But no Walking Dead talk, no any other shows talk. Based off of that last episode, episode 8, I feel like the whole conversation needs to be geared around that because, again, just absolute insanity of a show. And I feel like there's like 3 pillars of main talking points that came out of this episode. We're going to hit on everything. But first, we got to do our weekly poll, of course, to see where everyone's mindset is at. What team are you on now? Team Black? Team Green?
Fuck Team Green. Oh.
Vote away. I think one of the fun things about this podcast is obviously I know what Nikki's reaction is because I get to see her and edit it, like the initial thoughts.
Yeah.
But we don't really talk about these specific topics or questions before we record the podcast. So it's kind of fun hearing your thoughts kind of for the first time once the episode is digested, giving you a chance to rewatch the episode. It kind of, let your thoughts shift, change. Maybe they haven't shifted or changed at all. But we're going to get into some kind of generic conversation, and then the community gave us some really great comments and questions this week. So we're going to basically gear the conversation around their questions. But
I can't wait till you get to the best part of the episode, but please continue.
What's that?
I'm not gonna. We'll talk about it when it happens.
Well, coming off of 7, which I thought was the best episode of the season, we got 8, which I think is right up there in terms of, because again, I love drama, I love chaos, and this show had emotion, it had everything, and I think that's part of the reason why I loved it so much. Yes, I saw you do the ladder. I get it. I don't do it every single time because generally when I do that, you smack my arm.
Yes!
Sometimes I kind of get tired of getting hit. So just don't always do it. And I'm in the middle of a intro for the podcast. I'm not going to throw up a ladder necessarily, but we got another time jump. 6 more years. Time jump has been a very big topic of conversation. I feel like with this show, a lot of people feel like there's like a sense of it being rushed. How do you feel through 8 episodes, almost every episode giving us a pretty significant time jump?
I'm thinking. Oh my god, dude! I looked down.
I just adjusted my leg. Relax.
Holy crap! I didn't answer fast enough. I just don't feel like it's necessarily being rushed. I mean, if nothing happened, nothing happened. It's not like you can make an entire episode of Rhaenyra learning to knit.
Knit?
I don't know. Like, cleaning up after her children. A day in the life of Rhaenyra.
See, I have no problem. I have no problem with the time jumps at all. Like, zero.
I mean, again, we go back to the 10-year time jump. It happened. We got over it really fast. Let's keep moving.
I'm in the mindset that I truly believe that if something important happened in this time, like, it's kind of hard to believe coming off of 7 that nothing went down between 7 and 8 in those 6 years. But hey, that's the case. I mean, no conflict, no fighting, no war, nothing broke out between these 6 years, so I feel like if they're giving us a time jump, that means that there's nothing worth discussing, there's nothing worth showing, it's not important to drive the story that they're telling, so it doesn't bother me at all.
Okay, has there been two time jumps in 2 episodes? Like, we had 10 years and then 6 years.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I wouldn't put the time jumps directly after each other. Maybe that's the issue. Like,
my only suggestion was the 10-year one.
Yeah, okay, but I understand it. But 10 years and then 6 years, like, can we have one episode where we're maybe not jumping?
Maybe they're done.
Maybe
they
just need to get caught up to this particular point.
They just had to get to a certain spot. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see, though. But, of course, like with every major time jump, there's more kids. And
a lot of fucking kids. God damn, they've been rabbits.
There's
rabbits.
So many kids. And as someone who struggles with names, like this episode,
I have questions.
This episode hit me hard with the names because now we have Viserys, another Viserys, an Aegon, another Aegon, an Aemond, a Vaemond, a Daemond, a Balon, a Bela, a Rayla, a Rayon. I can't even get the names right. No. Rhaenyra and a Rhaenys.
Rhaena.
So there's so many names.
I know who all the. I mean, Balon is. That was the original son. That was the baby that Viserys had with his wife Aemma that passed away. Didn't they name the dragon that then?
There's just like the fact that all the names sound the same.
Oh, I know.
That's the part that
when it was Vaemond, I was like, did you run out of names?
It's like the other show we're watching where everyone's name is essentially like Aethel something. Aethel something.
Aethel
like
or Aethel.
Dude, is it that hard to come up with unique names?
I guess.
It's just one of those things where the names are what they are.
Yeah, that was the first child that passed, which was unfortunate.
If it wasn't Game of Thrones, I feel like you have to have 700 names to remember.
I'm trying to keep track. I have like a list of characters that I'm like, as we see them, I try to write them down. Okay.
You said you had questions.
But I have a question. Who is older, Luke or Jace?
Oh.
Whom is whom? And Luke is the king of Driftmark or Jace is the king of Driftmark? I have them like mixed up because
the one who's
Jace is who? Jace is older. Okay.
But he looks younger, doesn't he?
I don't know. That's the thing. I'm like, who is who?
The kids are throwing me off a lot.
Okay, so Jace is older.
But now someone's saying Luke's older. Luke's the heir of Driftmark.
Jace is older, but Luke is the heir. Jace is younger. Oh my god.
That's why you can't trust the chat. We'll look it up later. We'll figure it out later. But let me continue. A nice Italian family-style dinner took place.
Yes.
A lot of really nice things were said, and just for the record, I don't believe one flippin' thing that was said during that dinner. I think there were maybe some heartfelt things in there, but I feel like they were all just playing nice for King Viserys. I think they were able to read the room. They read the room.
Yeah.
They knew what was going on. They knew that King Viserys was probably having his last dinner with his family. And again, maybe some truth was spoken, but they're all playing the game. They're all playing the game.
Yeah,
I don't buy anything nice that was said during that whole thing.
Dude, literally, he leaves the room.
Yeah.
Fucking shit pops off.
Well, I mean, that's Aemon's fault, but...
Literally, like, the door hadn't even shut yet, and fucking, who was it? Luke was laughing at the pig.
Well, that was my next thing. Like, after all these years, they're still clowning each other. It's like the roasted pig joke 6 years later. Is that still like... Is that still really like a fire in his belly that he needs to respond that way? Like, I mean, I get it. It's kind of a funny joke, but it was a reference to when the kids gifted him a pig as his dragon.
Okay, so who sliced Aemon's eye? Jace or Luke?
I'm not even going to try to get into that conversation. I'm going to move on from the Jace and Luke thing.
Dude, I have erased it so many times. So many times.
It's something we're going to have to figure out later, not right now while we're live.
Right. No, I get it.
And honestly, I'm not going to lie. I'm actually a really big fan of Eamon at this point. Like, this episode, this version of Eamon, I really like him.
I think he's a shit.
That's why I like him. I feel like he's going to be a really big problem. And in this world, I am all for the entertainment that I feel like he's going to bring. I root for chaos.
And I totally get that. But I am, you know how I am.
I root for chaos.
If you act like a little shit, that's it. You're a shit.
Yeah, I want all the chaos. I want all the madness. I want all the insanity to ensue. It's like during the dinner, like, oh, they're actually getting along, and like Otto's smiling, Damon's smiling, they're messing around. Like, this is boring. And then Viserys gets carried out and friggin' punches the table. He's like, one final tribute. I absolutely loved what Eamon said in his toast, where he just throws in the strong comments. That was such a great passive yet very aggressive insult.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved it. The moment he stood up and gave his final tribute, I'm like, yes, let's fucking go. We're not having this crazy, nice, get along bullshit. We're gonna have some fucking chaos.
Yeah.
So I welcome all the chaos. Anyone's an asshole in this world, I think it's freaking entertaining. Real quick chat, if you guys do have your super chats, we will get to them. We're not ignoring you guys. We're just rattling off through a script and a rundown and all that stuff.
Yes. But thank you for the $9.99, friend.
So yes, we will get to all of that. And so that's kind of like the general thought. In terms of general feelings, what did you think of this episode?
Oh, I thought it was great. Oh, I don't get me wrong. As much as I think that some character is a shit, an absolute, complete asshole, I fucking love this shit, okay? That's what it's supposed to be. You're supposed to feel strongly about the characters you like and or hate. So I think it's fucking awesome.
So with that said, it's time to jump into everyone's favorite segment.
So let's find out what Nikki and Steven got wrong this week.
I don't feel like there was a ton of wrong or missed this week, but I did ask a very specific question. What?
I'm sure I did.
No, I go through the comments. There wasn't anything specific.
Okay.
But I did ask a specific question about Damon's sword because obviously...
Why are you asking about another man's sword?
Yeah, because it's awesome and huge and does a lot of damage. I asked if his sword was Valyrian steel. Yes, Dark Sister is made of Valyrian steel. And obviously, we'll get into this. I think this is going to be one of the biggest conversation topics, but it will kill.
That's what I'm saying was the best part of the episode. Fucking come on, just slice.
And the fact that he let him keep his tongue.
Yes, bitch. I didn't even know that anatomy could stay there without the top of your head. That's amazing.
Yeah, pretty insane. That's one of the three pillars of this episode in terms of conversation points. We will get into it. One thing that wasn't necessarily asked about that I feel like we need to hit on is the Alicent versus Rhaenyra kind of debate, because it feels like it's the biggest talking point. We get so many comments of, why do you hate Alicent? Why do you do this? I'm Team Rhaenyra, Team Black versus Team Green, blah, 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 all this stuff. And for someone who continuously is just towing the line in the middle, because I think both of them are fucked up. I think they're both doing horrible things.
Yeah, that's true.
I am more Team Black than I am Team Green just because of Daemon. I think he's one of the more fascinating characters, even though Aemond is kind of making me creep a little bit towards the green side, because I'm all for his chaos and unpredictability. I can't wait to see what this dude's gonna bring. But one of the really interesting things is, it's a fact. Like, everyone's making moves in this world, with the exception of maybe King Viserys. Everyone's got dirt on their hands. It feels like King Viserys is the only one who's like truly a good person,
right?
And
who does actually not have any like behind the scenes discussions about whatever,
right? And everyone else is like positioning themselves, moving, playing the game, doing bad shit. And we got a really interesting moment with Alicent in this episode.
Well, I just wanted to say, though, also, like, he won't even admit that his daughter's children are bastards.
Right.
That's how fucking good he is.
Well, that side of the thing is
I know he's in denial.
Yeah.
I get that part. But, like, that's how, like, he won't even talk shit like that. Like, we all fucking see it. We all do. I get that part. But he's still on, like, my camp where it's like, those are still her children.
Right.
I don't care who their fucking daddy is. Those are still her babies.
But in that world, that's obviously
I get that. That's not up for debate.
So we see Alicent have a really kind of, it seems to be a really nice, touching moment with this girl, Diana, right?
Yeah.
And we find out that Aegon, the one who's supposed to become, like, king or whatever, raped her. And so Alicent decides to force her to drink this tea. Yeah. The same tea that we believe that Rhaenyra took. And so it's one of those interesting things where, and this is why I like to see all sides of the argument and see all sides of a character, because on paper it's like, oh, look at Alicent being nice. She actually feels like she's having a touching moment, a sweet moment with someone. But then when you actually strip down that whole scene and everything that happens there, she's doing nothing more than being a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Because her son could potentially have impregnated this girl.
Yeah.
Which would then present a bastard child.
Yep.
And so Alicent went so far out of her way to force this girl into drinking this tea. I don't know if this girl's alive. There's speculation that she is dead, because you go back and watch the episode, someone's asking, like, oh, where's Diana? She's supposed to be here. She was gone. She was nowhere to be found.
I didn't think about that.
So,
but even the chat is like, is the tea poisoned?
Right.
That's a good question.
So this whole idea that, like, oh yeah, she had this really nice touching moment, it's like she's protecting her child, which obviously makes sense. Everything in this world is about protecting your kids. But it's one of those things where you're going to give Rhaenyra all the shit for what she's going through, but then you go through and you use your position of power to basically force this girl to have the morning after tea, I guess is what we're going to call it.
It's the plan tea.
And continue to act a certain way towards other people while behind the scenes you're kind of doing the same exact thing. Which, again, Alicent's an amazing character. I give her the benefit of the doubt on a lot of things just because of the fact that she has been basically thrusted into this world as a tool, not a person. She's been inserted into this world in her position to be a tool, a device for other people's kind of growth and success. And obviously, I feel like all of that has kind of been a key factor to her becoming who she is.
Yeah.
And her influence, and it's like the power and the corruption and all the stuff that happens. Like,
I was gonna say, like, it didn't even matter. It doesn't matter what she looked like. Doesn't matter her age. Doesn't matter any of that stuff. It's just basically because she was Otto's daughter.
Yeah. It's like the moment the king's wife, the queen, died, Otto's like, this is my moment. I'm hand of the king. You're gonna go fucking marry that. You're gonna, well, not marry him, but you're gonna go in there and start planting those seeds. And then she ended up becoming the queen and the wife. And then everything kind of just grew from there. And she's constantly been in a position.
Yes.
I mean, indirectly, she's responsible for the Strong's deaths. It wasn't something that she specifically asked for, but she empowered Lara Strong to kind of do things.
Why I talk about, like, her body's right. What is it? She's writing a check. Her body can't cash. What's the thing? What's the saying? Whatever it is. You get what I mean.
And it's one of those things where, how is that any different than what Rhaenyra did in terms of Daemon killing an innocent dude to help Lenore get away? Like, this is my point in terms of both sides doing horrible shit. And if you support Alicent, cool. If you support Rhaenyra, cool. It's like no one in this world has clean hands. No. They're all doing bad shit. It all just depends on what you find to be more interesting, more entertaining. And when it comes to Alicent versus Rhaenyra, I just think Alicent's more boring than what Rhaenyra is going through. I think she's far more interesting. She's got way more kind of like chaotic situation going on. So I don't know. I just thought it was really interesting because I feel like that's going to be a debate for the life of this show.
Yes,
it's going to always be people deciding between Rhaenyra and Alicent, black versus green, and yeah, I just think it's really interesting because the episode ended. Well, the dinner ended where everyone kind of dispersed after the fight broke out, and Alicent's like, "Come back." Like, don't leave, you just got here. And Rhaenyra's like, I'll be back on Dragonback.
Like, I'm just going to drop the kids off at home. I'll be right back.
It's one of those things where she's coming back for war.
Are you blaming Alicent for Strong's death? Yes.
Not directly. She's an accomplice, 100%.
Yes.
Just like Alice, or just like Rhaenyra is indirectly an accomplice to the death of that innocent dude that Daemon killed. If you're part of a plan... You're part of the you're part of the problem. So yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Can take a short 2 minutes.
We're gonna take a quick break. Nikki's gonna go use the restroom.
Sorry, that's what happens when I drink liquids.
Yeah, you can't deny that she has a hand in the Strong deaths. Like. It's actually a perfect moment for her to take a break because I mean, if you don't understand what an accomplice is, I can't help you with that. And if you're going to ignore that, I also can't help you with that. I mean, it's kind of what happens when you're a fan of something. You don't want to actually see the truths. Which is why I love being in the middle. Because it's like I see all their flaws. We don't watch the inside the episodes on purpose. Who killed more people? Who's been more hypocritical? Both of them.
And I'm back.
All right. So we've got two things to do before we, like, again, I mentioned how the comments were so great this week.
Yeah.
We're going to jump into all of that in a minute, but we got to get to the poll in a second. But first, we got to jump into another, feels like weekly kind of segment. And I screwed it up. What the hell did Helena say this week? What did she say? It's like we're having this nice dinner, and out of nowhere, you just see her kind of like speaking under her breath, like, what the fuck? Beware the beast beneath the boards.
Yes, and Dular, Helena, is everything Helena say... Helena. Is everything Helena say prophecy? Monsters under the floorboards. Also, was she prophesying about Aegon or just describing his as, drunk? Ooh.
So, beware the beast beneath the boards. I have no idea what that means. Does she talking, like, is there someone under the floor that's, like, watching them as they're all having dinner?
No.
Are they talking about, like, the dragons?
She's speaking in riddles and puzzles and...
I know. What does it mean?
I think that basically...
I think there's literally a beast somewhere under the boards.
No, I don't think that is it. Stop being dumb.
Why? She was literal.
I think she's saying that there is a beast between... Like, there's a beast under something that you don't suspect. Like, you're not going to suspect that there's somebody literally in your floor.
I mean...
But there is somebody...
She literally said when... A couple episodes ago, when Alicent and Aemon were talking about the dragon, and Alicent's like, you're gonna get a dragon one day. She literally responded with, he's gonna have to close an eye. She speaks literally. It sounds like a riddle. You gotta figure out what the riddle is.
That is technically a riddle. You didn't actually have to close an eye. Literal would be, I just have to close my eye.
Yes. That's exactly what that means.
Literal.
Your eye is closed forever. He's gonna have to close an eye.
She didn't say you have to close your eye forever. She said you're gonna have to close an eye.
Yeah, I'm right, you're wrong. She literally, she speaks literally.
Now watch your mouth.
She speaks literally. There's something creeping somewhere underneath something that's going to end up becoming a problem. That's what I think's going on. But yeah.
Okay.
I think it's very interesting that she continues to be such a really big kind of talking point because she'll literally just come out of nowhere and just say this stuff.
Yes.
Do you think she was actually prophesizing about Aegon, or was she just talking shit?
Well,
I went back and watched it. I feel like she was just talking shit.
I feel like she was just talking shit because he's an asshole. That kid. He's an asshole.
All right, so let's check out the poll. What team are you? Team Black?
And
Team
again,
Green?
we are a percentage off because 80 plus 19 does not equal 100.
So bizarre.
So, sure. 255 votes, though. Thanks, you guys.
You guys are killing
80% Team Black, 19% Team Green.
I want to say that was the same last
I'm
week.
winning. No, it's not.
Well, what was it last week? I need to start going back and checking.
It was over 80.
Was it over 80?
I think. And
So it's... The gap's shrinking a little?
correct.
Interesting. Very interesting. All right, so let's jump into some of these really heavy talking points because, again, I feel like there were 3 really big things this episode. King Viserys, Vaemond, and then the whole end scene. Like, I feel like those are the 3 big things for this week. 83% last week, so it's down to 80% this week.
Right.
Cool. So, yeah, I mean, as the episodes go, we're going to continue to ask. But we've broken these up into the 3 pillars, and then we got a bunch of just kind of more kind of scattered questions that we'll get to. But starting off, read all 4 of these.
Okay, from Blacklight. Fun fact, the crown falling off King Viserys' head was an accident while shooting episode 8. Matt picked it up and placed it on Viserys' head, and they liked it and kept it in, which I
Amazing
love.
moment.
Who-
That was one of my favorite moments.
That was
so
good.
good.
I mean, y'all know my favorite moment. Slice! Hooplehead USA, do you think the actor playing Viserys Patty should be nominated for a win... nominated for or win an Emmy?
Nominated 100%.
I don't know about... Maybe win.
I mean, Bob
I wouldn't-
I want Bob Odenkirk to win.
That's true. That's true.
So,
Gary Perry, just a comment really. When Daemon first sees Viserys lying there, he seems very emotional and shocked. He can barely make eye contact with him. No pun intended. Hey! Thoughts, also last words of Viserys were my love. J. King. J. King, Viserys walked to the throne, such a powerful moment. My question is, do you think it will ever be revealed to everyone that Lenore is still alive, or do you think it will be kept a secret?
So, in general...
To go back to the Daemon.
Hold on, just in general, Viserys was fucking amazing in this episode.
I agree.
That was probably the first moment where I'm like, this is a fucking strong-ass king.
Yeah.
This dude is powerful. He's driven. I feel like he knew exactly what was going on, that his time was up. And he did what he needed to do. When he walked into the throne room, basically told Otto to fuck off. I'm sitting the throne. And that he came in support of Rhaenyra, his daughter. And as a girl dad, that shit was amazing. And then just the whole dinner thing. That moment was so great. The crown falling off his head and Daemon being the one to pick it up. Obviously, like, finding out that it wasn't planned.
Yeah, it wasn't
It should have been.
intentional, I
Because
know.
that moment was everything. Because it continues to show just Daemon has this great, great love for his family.
Although, question, do you really think he likes his own fucking kids? I think that he just puts Rhaenyra above it all, and, like, Aemond and Aegon are just like, you little shits. You little shits.
I think he absolutely does. I just don't think he's like a super overly compassionate type of person, even with his own kids. I just think he has a certain way of loving.
Treating Rhaenyra versus treating the boys.
Yeah, and just in yeah.
I don't feel he has ever interacted with Helena. I have seen 0 interactions with his daughter, with his other daughter.
I just don't know if it's part of that story.
Right.
But that was one line that I wanted to mention. George R.R. Martin came out and said that the actor did better with the character than he wrote him, which, I mean, that's some huge praise.
That's a that's a giant
Your version of
compliment.
Viserys was better than my version of Viserys. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But that whole scene, those whole moments, everything about it was just so emotional, just one of those, it was so powerful to like, when the shot where it was a wide shot, you're like, holy shit, the king is coming to this hearing.
Yes.
And then when they do the whole King Viserys, first of his name, that whole introduction, like that shit's giving me chills right now thinking about it. That was such a great and powerful moment.
Yes.
And just the way he came in, he's like, I don't even understand why there's a hearing. He just kind of put everyone in their place. And again,
which I love, even on his deathbed, still supports his baby.
Amazing performance, perfectly done. I thought it was absolutely epic. And the interesting thing about him saying "my love" at the end, he was seeing Emma. He was seeing his wife on his way out.
There was no question about that. You know, he was talking to his
love,
Emma. Yeah,
as much as everyone probably wants to think that he truly loved Alicent, like,
it's not the same.
It's not the same.
It's not. You can't. He didn't. It's not like, you know, Emma died of old age and I will see you again one day. She died tragic while trying to, you know, give birth to their first son. Like, it was awful. And it's like that, you know, they chose each other and they loved each other. And Alicent wasn't necessarily chosen by him. She was pushed in there. So, I don't know. I
always love those moments. You've seen them in a lot of different pieces of content, like with The Punisher or with, like, Gladiator. Like, the last moment where you actually are, like, in some cases you literally see it. In other moments you just kind of hear the person who's dying say it. But it's like those moments where you know they're seeing the people they love when they're about to just pass on is so emotional and just one of those, just such a powerful moment, and it's just so good. And let's just jump into the conversation on the end of the episode.
From Iron Minotaur, in regard to the final moments of the episode, we've seen it in real world history and in television shows, movies, video games, etc. Do you strongly believe, from a writing perspective, there was a way to avoid a miscommunication trope, or no matter what was going to happen, shit was going to go down regardless of trope or not?
So this was a huge conversation in the Discord the night the episode aired, and it's one of those things where at the end, while he's on his deathbed, drugged out of his brains probably, we've seen him referring to Alicent as Emma. Like, there were moments where, like, ever since we met Viserys, we've seen his deterioration. We saw that he's mentally losing it, physically losing it, and he's on his deathbed. He's drugged out of his brains on the poppy, and it's clear that he thinks he's talking to Rhaenyra at the end. He's talking about the prince that was promised.
Because that was a conversation that they had together, yes.
Exactly. And so, like, he was basically finishing that conversation. You gotta get him out of here.
Uh-oh. We have an Uba. Wrong show,
you
buddy.
Gotta actually
Wrong
take
show.
him out and close the door, because he'll mess up the audio.
I know. Uba. Wrong show, bud. When we talk about Last Kingdom, you can totally join. Come on, bud. Out. Out there. Be a good boy. What?
And put the door stop. Just take...
Yeah, you got it. Good boy. He's not gonna.
Okay.
I'll be fine.
Uba likes to jump on the desk and walk around. He would mess up our whole
He's
setup.
a giant cat now. He's like 14 or 15 pounds. He's a big, big, big kitty.
So it was obvious that he was talking to Rhaenyra, finishing the conversation from earlier, talking about the prince that was promised and that whole thing.
That makes me mad that she was there for that conversation and not Rhaenyra. Like, and how she's gonna possibly translated that something about her.
Yeah, we're gonna get to all that.
No, I get it.
He was obviously talking about Jon Snow, Aegon, the one who would bring the realm together. But it's one of those things where the miscommunication trope, I think it makes perfect sense in this situation. He's on his deathbed. He has no idea what the fuck's going on. And he thinks he's talking to someone that he's not. I would be way more thrown off if he was talking clearly. If he was able to see that it's Alicent and be talking to her like it's normal. That would have thrown me off way more. Yeah. And the whole idea that now Alicent, and whether she believes what he's saying or not, the fact that it came out of King Viserys' mouth, Aegon, the one who's going to unite the realm, that's all she needs. That's all. Like, it doesn't matter what you think of Alicent. She has a clear agenda, and I feel like the agenda was extremely clear in this episode.
Yeah.
Because they were keeping Viserys alive as long as possible. You saw what they did to everything. They put up all their decorations. It's like the Hightowers were in charge, and they were even called out on it, that they were the ones making the decisions. So they clearly have this agenda, and the trope of the miscommunication thing, I think it fits perfectly. As someone who had a grandparent die of Alzheimer's, I've seen and heard some pretty outlandish shit coming from someone who has that. So the fact that Viserys was in that moment saying what he was saying, I buy it completely. I think for this story, it works perfectly. Maybe the miscommunication thing doesn't work in every situation, but I would have been more thrown off if Viserys was clear-minded, talking differently in that moment as he's on his way out. So, did that part bother you? The fact that we're essentially going to go to war over miscommunication?
It made me mad because I don't want Alicent to get any more fuel. She's already like grasping at anything that she can to get whatever she wants because she is the tool of her father. I really don't feel like deep down in Alicent's heart, I really don't feel like she wants to do any of this shit, but I feel like she thinks that she has to for her father in order for him to be proud of her. Doesn't that suck? You're just looking for daddy's approval at this point. So I feel I hate the fact that she got that information and not the person who was supposed to hear it.
And interesting comment in the chat. I'm sure Alicent, I'm not sure Alicent's that malicious. She's just fighting for her kids.
Exactly.
But fighting for her kids means what in this scenario?
Right.
It means playing the game. So it's like, yes, if you say it that way, oh, she's just fighting for her kids, sure. But what exactly does fighting for Aegon mean?
I don't know.
It means putting him on the pedestal as the rightful heir.
But he's such a shit.
Well,
he's such a slacker. He's such a... I hate to say this about, like, anybody's child, but he is such a fuck up. Honestly, stop fucking up. Stop.
Yeah.
Like, literally, you're handed a silver platter. Literally. And you keep fucking it up. It's like, mommy has not made it this hard for you. And that's probably bad. She's made it too fucking easy to get away with everything. Like, he needed to have been given a job or something to make him earn something. Like, I feel like Aemon's eye getting gouged made him so much stronger that he had to overcome all of his, like, his disability, essentially. And now he's a stronger person. He's got thicker skin. I mean,
does he though?
Even though he let somebody laughing at a pig piss him off.
6 years later.
6 years later, like, let it go. But also, I mean, that's trauma. But, like, he's overcoming
I just think it shows
his
how
trauma
much he hates them.
and being such a way more of a fighter. Like, the way he was fighting with Kristen Cole, like, come on. Like, that's badass.
Yeah.
But, like, Aegon, he has this, like, amazing, like, sunshine and rainbows life, and he turned into a giant fuck-up who also R-worded somebody. Like, are you kidding me? And we have to say the R word. You can't say the word, otherwise YouTube will take it down.
What?
The R word.
Oh.
You can't say it.
Oh.
Because YouTube don't like that shit.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's definitely a situation where, like, based off everything you're saying, I think it's why we talked about the value of Aegon over the value of... No, the value of Aemond over Aegon. Mm-hmm. Because Alicent sees it. She knows that Aegon is probably not the play. She even said, "You're no son of mine," something another father said in the other show back in the day. You know, the whole Tyrion scene on the toilet.
Yeah.
Obviously, she views...
So are you trying to tell me that Aegon is going to kill his mom while she's in the water closet with a fucking catapult arrow bow thing? What are those things called?
This is my theory. This is what I think's going to play out. I think she's going to fight to get Aegon, like, get the line put in her family.
Yeah.
So, regardless if she misunderstood, regardless if she understood, I mean, she has no reason.
Yeah.
She has no reason to understand the story that Viserys was telling her. She doesn't know about the prince that was promised. That's a Targaryen thing. she has no reason to know about it unless he told her about it, which obviously he didn't, because she was like, what are you talking about? All she needed to know was that the current king, who is literally dying, said the name Aegon, which is her son. Doesn't matter which Aegon it is. There's currently one, and it's her son, and he said, unite the realm. So I feel like she's going to use that to get the crown towards her line of the family, and then Aemon's gonna take out Aegon, which puts him next in line.
Word.
I think that would be like, if I was a crazy schemer in the Game of Thrones world, that's what's the fuck I would do. I'd be like, my oldest shit son, let's make him king. But hey, my younger one, who's probably a little more fit, a little more kind of made for this world, go kill him.
But, or make him hand of the king.
Or hand of the king. But the idea that Alicent would actually have one of her sons killed is pretty insane, because, again, I think she does love her family very much. She loves her kids. She's doing everything for her kids. But I think it's the whole idea that they're going to try to put Aegon as in the place. And this is where the fight and the drama and essentially the civil war that I feel like we've been talking about for episodes now is going to take place. Because the moment Aegon was born, you knew that there was going to be a conflict with the first ever born son of the king. It's not Rhaenyra, even though he named her. Now that it almost reminds me, I talked about this in the Discord too, it reminds me of Gladiator, to where Caesar named Maximus, knew Caesar,
Yeah.
but no one else knew that except Maximus.
Yeah.
But then Commodus came in, found out the information, killed his dad, and then he became king where
Right.
he wasn't supposed. It kind of feels like a situation like that to me, to where Alicent's going to take the information and run with it, and it's just going to cause absolute chaos. And again, I think the miscommunication thing, I think it fits, I think it works, and I'm going to be here all for the insanity for episode 9, because
We know that there's 2 Aegons. We're talking about we know that.
we're not talking about the baby.
We're not talking about the baby.
No one's
We know that the
expecting-
baby is Aegon.
No.
We talked about that earlier in the podcast. We know.
No one's expecting a baby to be named king.
No,
over the
we're
other
not
Aegon.
talking about the baby. And I honestly don't feel as though Alicent even acknowledges Rhaenyra and Daemon's kids.
Yeah, no.
Anyways.
So the third pillar, I feel like the big talking point of this episode revolves around Vaemond and that whole situation.
Oh my God.
Matthew R. posted a long one.
Yeah, Matthew R. I kind of feel bad for Vaemond. He was being a jerk, but everyone knew that his family's home was basically being stolen away from him, his family. It's another example how Rhaenyra's actions have really negatively affected people around her. Agreed. But we still empathize with her because she's acting against an overall unfair system. Most people go along with it. She doesn't, because she cares more about doing what she wants than others suffer. She wanted to hook up with Harwin and made bastard children, putting their lives at risk as well. And now a bunch of strong Targ bastards are going to inherit Driftmark. Not only that, people think Rhaenyra actually killed Corlys. You mean Lenore.
Yeah.
You think people killed Lenore. So
Lenore.
it's a double slap in the face to Vaemond. I get it. Don't get me wrong. I fucking get it. And also, yes, I'm not happy with the actions of Rhaenyra, that she, had babies with Harwin, and I wish that things would have worked out so that she could have had Lenore's children. Even Rhaenyra says, I wish I could have had your babies. It didn't work out that way, but they're still her kids. And despite the bloodline, I still think that everybody should listen to what Corlys wanted. Corlys wanted Jace, so Jace needs to get it. Like, shit happens, I feel like, you know?
I feel like this is all going to be for nothing, because I don't believe that Corlys is dead.
Yeah, I didn't see a body.
I don't think it's going to come down to that. But the funny thing, like, this is another one of those situations where people present their argument with the whole Vaemond situation with only part of it.
Right.
Because people were actually mad.
Luke, I'm sorry. Did I say Jace? I meant Luke.
People were actually mad that we, like, cheered his death. And it's like, oh, he was right, and he dies for it.
But he was talking to shit.
That's the thing. Like, did you miss the whole part where he literally called the queen's daughter a whore? In front of her husband?
Yeah.
Like, hello? You can't... So...
You can't talk shit. You can't fuck around and not find out.
You're not going to insult the king's daughter heir to the throne, and Daemon's wife, in front of Daemon like that, call the children bastard. And Daemon was even like, say it again. Call them bastards. Like, say it.
What again?
He's like, say it.
Say what again?
And Daemon, I mean, he went all in. Yeah. He said it, and he called her a whore. And, like, bro, you're gonna die. Those kind of words.
And especially in front of important people. You can't talk shit in front of important people and not expect to get your fucking head cut off. Or sliced in half, perhaps.
Yeah. So it's another one of those situations where I understand where he's coming from. I get it. His family line in his eyes is now gone. I'm drawing a blank. The Valerians. The Valerian line is gone now. And the fact that...
But it's not, though.
Technically it is.
Lena had babies.
And they're not becoming the heir of Driftmark. So essentially that line is
But they
over.
are, though, because she's married... They're marrying Jace and Luke.
It's not...
So they will still be half Valerian.
Right, but that's not...
Well, a quarter Valerian, because they're only half Valerian now, because they didn't sleep with, a family member.
That's not how he's seeing it. He's seeing it that the fact that a true born Valerian-blooded person is not ruling Driftmark. And that's the point.
It'll get there eventually once they have their babies.
Unless they have an incest situation. Like, there isn't even a full-blooded Valerian around anymore. The fuck?
What? Did you all hear that thunder?
Was that thunder?
That was I heard scattered thunderstorms, but fuck, did you all hear that?
That was crazy.
That never happens.
Yeah,
Wait, does it look bad outside?
I don't know.
Is it raining?
So again, I completely understand why he would be upset, but on the flip side, you can't handle it losing grip of what you think is yours. Horrible. And I get the mindset, but you can't do what he did and expect to one, get your way. You can't act like that and then be like, oh yeah, okay, you're right. Let alone expect to walk out of there alive.
Oh my god.
So...
Or not end up in the fucking dungeons down below.
It's like, yes, I feel bad for Vaemon because under the circumstances, he doesn't agree with what his brother wanted.
And believe me, I get it. Like, I think that his brother should have taken over because the babies, Luke and Jace, they're still young. Like, Luke can't king anything right now, okay? He can't even king checkers. But, like, eventually...
You gotta sleep in the bed you make.
Yeah.
And him having that outburst in front of everyone like that...
That looks bad.
It's the way...
When you are the one talking shit about somebody else, you're saying nothing about that other person, but you're saying everything about yourself.
Yeah. So, again, I see his side of it, but again, his brother had a certain wish. Regardless if the kids are bastards or not, it is what it is. And you talk shit, play a dangerous game, expect dangerous outcomes.
Fuck around and find out.
It's pretty crazy. So we got a bunch of kind of more off-topic questions that we're going to hit on, and we're going to rip through these, and then, yeah.
That was wild. That was perfect timing of that thunder, I gotta tell you.
It's pretty insane.
Hooplehead question update. 2 episodes later, who is currently playing the best Game of Thrones? Who's the weakest? You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I don't think my opinion's changed very much. I think...
Who's currently playing the best game?
I feel like, up to this point, I feel like Alicent's doing the best job.
I think Otto.
I mean, Otto, okay, because he's...
Technically, Alicent isn't really doing shit except for losing her fucking mind. Otto is the one that's like, hey, you want to do this? You want to do that? Let's do this.
I don't know if anyone's necessarily playing the game bad. I don't know. Nothing really jumps off to me as, like, thinking about who's playing it bad. I feel like Team Black is showing their hand a little more.
Yes.
In terms of being emotional about situations. But I think I agree with you. Otto is definitely playing the best.
He is running this shit. He has his own fucking puppeteer.
I mean, just the
fact that he got
put back his hand.
Yes.
After being removed shows a lot. So,
Yeah. Hey, daughter, you are in need of a hand. You should put me back in.
Right.
Yeah. Miranda Rojas, Missaria has made an appearance again. Who do you think she's working for, or is she trying to enter the Game of Thrones here? Notice Allison's maid in episode 6 coming in during her dinner with Laris.
I don't...
I know, right? That was conveniently coming in during the dinner.
I went back and watched that. It was such a short scene, and all she said was like, "Oh, dinner had some stuff going on, huh?" Or some excitement or something along those lines. This situation, I feel like is going to be one of those things that just comes out of left field. It's just like, oh my god, like that's what was happening. Like I don't think I could pick. I would assume Otto, just because of how much he has going on. But I don't know. Who do you think the White Worm is working for?
I think the White Worm is working for herself.
You think so? You think she's in this for herself?
Well, no, I mean, but Otto.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know. It's very interesting.
I think Otto wants to know literally everything, and I think it's Otto. But
it's definitely one of those very mysterious moments, because in an episode of just total chaos, to throw her little scene in the way that they did, and then her to throw that one line in like she knew what happened at dinner, it was like, oh shit, you got eyeballs. Okay.
Yeah.
You got little birdies everywhere.
Yeah. Another one from Miranda. Also, how is Hot D standing as a series so far for you two? I will admit, I love being in the Game of Thrones world again. I love it. I missed it so much. I didn't realize how much I missed it until we're in it. Because this is the drama I like. I don't like your bullshit housewife crap, okay? I don't like that stuff. When it's real people doing real bullshit to each other and really affecting each other's lives, I hate that. This drama, this is the good drama. This stuff, this historical, I'm gonna talk shit to you in the most eloquent way possible. I love it. Like, did you just give me a backhanded compliment in the nicest vocabulary I've ever heard in my life? Yes.
Such beautiful accents and manners.
Did you talk shit to me or did you just give me a compliment? I can't tell.
I'm loving it as well. I think this show, in terms of the tone, has been perfect. The moment it started, I felt like we were in Game of Thrones again. It felt like a 200 years in the past version of Game of Thrones.
Yes.
That's what it felt like to me.
Yeah.
And the way the manipulation's playing out, the way this first season has gone, the relationships, everything that's playing out, I think it's been great. I mean, it's going to take a lot for it to live up to, like, Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Because obviously, like, if we take the first 8 episodes of Game of Thrones and the first 8 episodes of House of the Dragon, this show is on par.
Yeah.
Like, it's there. So
I love that.
Absolutely.
Should I, Pretty Nikki in the chat, should I be angry at you or thank you? I mean, that's how I would take it. I mean, back then, they knew what they were saying to each other, but for me to hear you talk shit about me, I'm like, wait, was that, are you being nice to me right now? I can't tell. Raymond Carter, do you guys think the 3 dragon eggs Daemon got will turn out to be Daenerys' 3 dragon eggs? Maybe.
No. That was a really cool, I think her 3 dragon eggs have already been hatched, and I think they're already gone. I think they're off somewhere else already, if my history is correct on that situation.
I thought these ones were super duper old by the time Daenerys got them.
I'm pretty sure.
What if these are the 3 eggs?
Because there was a big conversation in like the first couple episodes.
Don't tell me if they
where
are.
Daemon had an egg. There was a conversation if that was Daenerys' egg. And I think during the conversation there,
maybe this.
I think her 3 eggs are long gone already, stolen where they are in the world. I could be wrong, but I thought I did a little bit of research on that, but I'm not sure. But how cool of a scene was that, by the way?
That was really cool.
That was the first time we actually got to see something like that.
Like how the eggs are acquired.
Yeah.
Right.
I thought that was really cool. I like your like steaming pile of dragon eggs. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. That's the kind of like small, subtle things I like to see, because it's not anything that I ever really thought about. Like, where do the dragon eggs actually come from? But then when they show you a scene of how they're kind of brought up, it's like, oh, dude, that's actually really cool.
I like it.
I think that's awesome.
Oliver. Who is Oliver Martin. Oliver Martin. Who is the most dangerous children currently and going forward? All bets are off at this point. Who's the most dangerous children? Who are the most dangerous children currently?
I think the obvious answer is Aemond.
Yes.
But-
oh my god.
But if Aegon is named king,
He's gonna be doing some stupid stuff.
he might be worse than a Joffrey as king.
If Joffrey liked getting it in,
Oh, yeah.
like Aegon,
Instead of
because
friggin-
Joffrey didn't like that.
He just likes shooting them with bows and arrows.
He literally killed his whore.
Yeah.
Almond. Almond. It's not Aemond anymore. It's Almond now. I feel like he's Joffrey-esque because he's real. He doesn't care.
Right.
He just doesn't. He does whatever the fuck he wants. He doesn't care.
So if he becomes somehow king, then yeah, I'll view him as the most dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
But under the current situation, I feel like Aemon will be the most dangerous because, again, I think he's
very skilled.
He's very skilled, and he seems like he's very quick to act. He kind of,
But I
he's
feel
very
like
much like
he thinks
Daemon.
a lot.
Yeah, but he's very much like
quick,
Daemon.
He's quick at his thoughts. Like he doesn't have to contemplate that long before he comes up with what he feels is the best solution.
Right.
J. King, do you see a rivalry forming between Aemond and Daemon? Honestly, I think Daemon likes Aemond. I think he does. I think he's like, yeah, I would have fucking kicked his ass too. But
He probably sees
can't say
himself
that
in
because, yeah,
I mean,
that's right. We do have to keep an eye on him.
it's one of those things where I really like that subtle interaction with them in this episode where the two kids were about to fight and then Daemon gets up and is just like, and then Aemon just walks away and Daemon follows him out. I don't know if there'll be a rivalry there.
Yeah, no, I think he likes him.
I think they're definitely two people who would get along. Because again, I feel like I see a lot of Daemon in Aemon. So it's kind of one of those things that he probably looks up to Aemon or Daemon. I'm going to get the names wrong every single time.
Do you hear that thunder?
No. I'm focused on this. I'm not listening
It's
outside.
intense right now.
I feel like it might be something that he kind of looks up to Daemon, but I don't know. We'll see. If there's a reason for... I mean, they are on different sides. It is Team Black versus Team Green. So, I don't know. We'll see.
JC, the actors who played Aegon and Aemon seem aged up way more than 6 years, while the actors playing Jace and Luke seem aged up appropriately. Now the two pairs of sons seem very disproportionate to each other. Is this bothering anyone else as much as it's bugging me? Do you think that they did this on purpose so we'd root for the underdog in a seemingly unfair fight? I do feel that Aemon's character was... I feel Aegon's character aged perfect.
I thought he was good.
I thought he was perfect. Aemond, way too old. Aemond looks older than
Everyone?
Alicent, to be honest. Like, I think that they're good choices, don't get me wrong, but the Luke and Jace still look like babies. They do. I don't know. Yes, Aemond looked older than Daemon. That is correct.
It's one of those things where I feel like under normal circumstances, this kind of constant actor shift would drive me nuts. I don't know why it's not bothering me at all. I have no effect on my feelings for this show or what the story is playing out at all. It's like, oh, you tell me that that's Daemon? Cool. That's Aemon? Cool. That's Aegon? Cool. Like, just telling me who's who? Like, oh, that's Jace. That's Luke. Okay. Cool. Like, I understand the time jumps. I understand that it's probably a really big challenge to have to deal with this. And also the idea that, like, Aemon's age from, 7 to 8? That isn't, like, an age period where you would probably change the most.
Right.
I don't know. Like, it doesn't throw me off at all for some, like, under normal circumstances. That kind of shit drives me nuts. When they change an actor or they recast a role, like, it always kind of throws me off. But for this show, it's just, like, I'm so focused on the story and everything that's going on. It's like, if that character is named that, okay, that's what we're going with.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I really don't have any issues with it. Even though, like, if you think about it, yeah, the aging of everyone makes no sense.
Right.
Daemon looks exactly the same. Kristen Cole looks exactly the same, if not younger.
Yeah.
Like, there are certain characters that they haven't recasted and they haven't done any de-aging to them at all. They haven't made them look older at all. And then you have
Seriously,
like Viserys.
can we give fucking Kristen Cole some wrinkles? He's gorgeous. Like, he needs to be aged a little bit.
But then you have like the extreme with King Viserys.
Oh my god!
It looks like he's literally aging a lifetime episode to
Honestly,
episode.
he's lived many a life at this point, poor guy. But with his illness, like, you're expecting him to just be completely deteriorating.
I think the only thing that I could kind of chalk it up to is the idea that when you really like something,
you don't want
certain
it to change.
things. Well, no, when you really like something, certain things just don't bother you, and it's like certain pieces of content in like the Star Wars world where I love this piece of content, I hate this piece of content. It's because the stuff that I love, or the content that I love, it didn't offend me enough for me to not like it. But in the one that I hate, they did things that offended me and my feelings enough to where I didn't like the movie or show or whatever. In this scenario, I'm loving it so much.
Yes, me too.
I don't think it's bothering me at all.
No,
so
it's not.
let's jump into some super chats. And they're not there. Cool.
Yeah, I love that you called him Krispy Kreme. Kristen Cole.
Oh.
Just got a haircut. He's only 20 in IRL. Keep going. Okay, Trisha. Trisha with the 2 pound. Ray Anthony with the 5, thank you. Caroline Rose. The names are ridiculous. I have to write everything down. I'm just curious what Rhaenyra is going to name the kid she's pregnant with. It was a good episode.
Let's just, might as well have another Joffrey while we're at it.
Well, she's already got a Joffrey.
That's why I said another one.
Oh, I don't... No more Joffreys! I'm fucking done with the fucking Joffreys. Let's see, we have Lucerys, we have Jacaerys. Is that what... That's what his name is, Jacaerys? We have Joffrey, we have Aegon, we have Viserys. I think she's gonna name him Daemon Jr.
Oh.
If it's a boy. I don't know what that's gonna be if it's a girl.
Might as well have another Daemon. I mean, why not?
Honestly...
You're gonna have to like nickname everyone.
Right. Another Ray Anthony, thank you again so much. Look at Alicent gaslighting, giving veiled threats to Moon T and Hush Money, who her sons are word victims, all to protect him. And she judged Ray all those years ago. Yeah, she's a total hypocrite.
That's and again, it goes back to the whole discussion about, it's like, yeah, you could love her, but you also have to understand what she's doing is also not right. So.
Pretty Nikki, no question. Just miss y'all, and I'm loving Hot D. Yes, girl. We all love the Hot D. There was also a membership I didn't catch.
I'll look at it.
But also, thank you, Schnick. Thank you, Schnick, for the 4 months. I'll get to your question in just a second. Arkil Johnson? I don't know how... I'm sorry. I apologize if I mispronounced that, but I love that. Rhaenyra is committing paternity fraud. If you hated Cersei... But like Rhaenyra, you morally inconsistent. Her bastards inherit nothing.
I disagree.
Well, I saw somebody was like, everybody should be mad at Vaemond, or Vaemond should be mad at Lenore for not stepping up and giving the children. But he tried.
I think comparing Cersei and Rhaenyra is not fair for the characters, because Rhaenyra is being written to a certain way, and Cersei was written to be a certain way. And there was, I mean, it's a different story and a different situation, in my opinion.
They are legitimate bastards. They literally don't have a dad. Literally.
Who?
The boys. They literally are
Rhaenyra's
bastards. They
kids.
literally don't have
they're gone,
a daddy.
So who knows?
And then Schnick, was King Viserys poisoned? Love you guys and this community. We love you too. Thank you for the tier 2 for 4 months. Thank you so much. I think that he was slowly being poisoned. That's just me. I was like, what the fuck is he drinking? And because they kept, like, Daemon and Rhaenyra kept smelling the cup. I know that they said they smelled like milk of the poppy to keep him basically drugged.
Yeah.
Which was bullshit, but also he's in pain, so you don't want him to be in pain. But, like, the minute he's like, I don't want this anymore. I need to be clear-headed. I don't want your fucking milk of the poppy anymore. I'm sorry about the cussing, but also not. Like, I felt like he was slowly, there you go. Yes, slowly being poisoned.
Who's complaining about our cussing?
Oh, nobody. I just sometimes like even I catch myself like, okay, you've said too many F words in a row.
No such thing.
Relax. But sometimes it just like comes out because like when I get passionate about something, the cuss words flow. So I apologize.
So in closing here, where do you think we're going with episode 9?
Well, there's got to be a funeral, and then Allison is probably gonna flip her shit. She's gonna be like, "See, I told you, it's Aegon. It's not you."
See, I think...
And Otto is gonna be, "Yes, he said Aegon in his dying breath, bitch." Oh my god, no.
Do you think...
Sorry.
So, obviously, sticking true to Game of Thrones and episode 9s, and do you think we're gonna have, like... The fact that we're going to have a funeral, they're going to announce, obviously, King Viserys is dead. We have an expectation that Rhaenyra is showing up on Dragonback. Is Daemon going to show up on his dragon? Like, is this going to be a situation where we're going to have a fucking bloodbath at the funeral? Like, is that what we're, like, that's what I feel like we're leading towards. Is that there's going to be fucking just slaughterhouse at the funeral.
Yeah, Rhaenyra's coming back, and then, because she currently doesn't know that her father is basically dead. I mean, it's gonna be wild.
I just can't, I can't expect anything less than just absolute, just destruction on, I don't know whose side, but everyone's got dragons, everyone's upset, everyone's gonna be mad, and the moment that I feel like the whole, like, claim to the throne thing comes up, that's when shit is really gonna fucking explode.
Yes.
So.
X cases, 8 months. Thank you, friend. Also, hello.
So I cannot wait to see how they jump into this next episode, because now that Viserys is gone, we've been talking about it. I feel like the moment that Viserys died, all hell's gonna break loose. And I fully anticipate all hell to break loose.
Well, I mean, look at the dinner. I think it was a foreshadowing. The dinner, everybody was getting along because Viserys wanted everybody to get along. As soon as he left the room, shit went haywire.
Literally the second he walked out.
Well, I said this before. They didn't even shut the door all the way.
Yeah.
And it was crazy.
Like, final tribute. Like, oh shit, here we go.
Yeah.
All right.
Prophecy Girl, thank you for the 8 months. Tier 2. Thank you.
So yeah, just can't wait to see where it goes. Do you have anything else to add about the last episode and moving into the next episode?
I don't have anything else to add. Perfect. So sorry. Thank you.
We're done.
And
all right, we're done. That's the podcast.
And we're done. If you are spoiling, there's a special place in hell for you. If it didn't happen in the show, it hasn't happened. I don't want to hear about book spoilers, any of that shit. If you're spoiling stuff, goodbye.
Like we always say, it's not your decision on what is and what isn't a spoiler.
If you are like, Nikki's gonna cry, or Nikki's gonna love this, or Steven and you are gonna get so pissed, that's a spoiler.
We should just stop.
You're setting expectations. Don't spoil shit.
People seem to get upset when we talk about spoilers for some reason.
I don't give a shit.
I don't know why.
I'm setting boundaries.
Yeah. So just
I know, pretty Nikki, right? You walk away for 2 seconds and shit goes south.
So thank you everyone who submitted questions. I always talk about it. I always hate that it needs to be brought up this way, but the number one way to guarantee your comment to be part of the conversation is through super chats. All the memberships, we greatly appreciate all of that. There's gifted memberships here now also. Normally, members get to vote on movie night along with patrons, and then live channel members get to submit questions in the podcast and kind of stuff like that. So it helps support the channel, it keeps us going, keeps the lights on, and pushes us closer to maybe one day future goal of being full-time creators.
Sheldon Cooper. Oh my god, I love your show. I need to rewatch Big Bang Theory. That was a good ass show.
I heard it sucked at the end.
I stopped watching. I stopped watching The Big Bang Theory in the later seasons. I couldn't handle it. I'm so hungry. Thank you guys. I mean, oh, you think Rhaenyra's gonna go into labor? That's good. I mean, that might happen.
Oh yeah, she's pregnant.
That's right. Yep, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Why
Thank
would
you,
it
Schnick.
hide that?
I don't know why. Maybe it's because the S and B were together and YouTube thought that was something else.
Yes, we both have full-time jobs.
Yes.
Everything we do on the internet is a side hustle.
It's not for funsies. Like, that's not. It's a job here, but like this is the side job. This is not the main job.
I'm not playing anything right now, X-Cases. I haven't played a game in months.
I know, we're so boring.
I just haven't had time. My schedule has been so nuts.
I think the last thing I played was House Flipper. And that was like a week ago. Didn't they say it would be one more time jump, or was that in the past episode?
I don't know what they said. You wouldn't know that.
I don't know. We don't watch the trailers for the next episode. I don't watch behind the episodes, any of that stuff. Secret Agent! Thank you so much!
So we'll see what happens.
Yep.
I like that people are showing up for the podcast. This is great. First season of True... I honestly don't really remember it. I remember it being really good. True Detective season 1.
Yeah, saying no more jumps is a spoiler. I agree.
I definitely want to check out Warzone 2. I'm intrigued with Call of Duty's Extraction gameplay.
What show will replace Hot D? Honestly, we need to catch up on Last Kingdom.
We got Last Kingdom. We got to get back to the Sandman. We got to finish that.
We still haven't finished Cobra Kai.
And in all honesty, like, this is the first time the end of our year is going to be light. I think we're going to take advantage of it. We'll see. I
want to completely get enthralled with my Last Kingdom again. I haven't been able to do that since we've only been doing one episode of Last Kingdom a week. Hang on to that, Schnick, but also thank you for the 5. How many dragons in this show do you think can beat Drogon?
I don't know. I'm not a dragon expert.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
But I love me some Drogon.
Yeah, don't make suggestions here, please.
If you have a suggestion, please leave it on the Discord.
I don't know if
we don't take notes. We don't write any of that stuff down. So sorry, guys.
I don't think we're gonna watch the Witcher prequel that's coming out on. Like, we're not gonna start watching something on Christmas. No, that's not happening.
No.
Sorry.
Oh no, Sons of Anarchy has like a bajillion episodes, but no Sons of Anarchy, no Justified on the channel. Maybe something to watch offline.
I don't have time to watch those offline.
No, because it is going to become my life's mission to get Steven caught up on Handmaid's Tale. He's never seen an episode. I need him to watch it all.
Are we ever gonna touch Rings of Power? I have no idea. I honestly, I'm leaning towards no. Just because...
Well, it gets terrible reviews.
I don't care about that.
I don't necessarily want to watch something that nobody likes.
I don't trust anyone's reviews. The stuff that I look at is the episodes are super long. And when there's just a couple channels that I look at to see how things perform on their channels. Rings of Power is not performing well. So the combination of all the time and work it's going to take to watch and edit those reactions and then get them posted doesn't equal the amount of views that I see them receiving on other channels. And plus, we'll be late posting them, so I don't know. Can you lean this way?
Thank you, Candy. I think we should talk about that.
Rings of Power are as long as... Yeah, but we're watching House of the Dragons live in the moment.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yes. What was his name? Something. What Lannister? There is a Lannister on the council. Yes.
Yeah.
I forget his
We're not
name.
going to call that out every single time we see something like that.
No, they're just mentioning it. Dude, there's so many notes.
Like, that's the one thing that people don't understand is watching an hour and 7-minute episode of TV, it has to have a payoff in terms of, is the time spent equaling the reward, kind of the return on investment. Like, the way I edit, I put a lot of time and effort into those edits. I go frame by frame on things, and
What was his first name? Which Thailand? It's not Tywin Lannister. No, definitely not that. Thailand Lannister.
Robert's Rebellion prequel would probably be my number one thing that I'd want to see. That sounds awesome.
Me too.
The Rings of Power Hate Committee is working hard to drag the show down, and it's working.
It's working.
I don't give two shits about that either. I love The Lord of the Rings. I'm just looking at it as more of a time commitment thing versus a I'm interested in watching it kind of thing.
Oh, Jason is the other one. I know. I gotta go. I gotta go pick up kids. I'm up to date. I just watched last night's episode of episode 6 of season 5. Is it episode 6 or 5? Whatever it is. I am currently up to date. I cannot be although I do not watch on the next episode or any of that shit. I don't want to know about the next episode. There actually were Baratheons. There was Baratheons at the tournament that Daemon had a fist fight. Yeah, episode 6. Yeah, it's so good. I mean, again, trigger warning for lots of abuse in Handmaid's Tale, but fuck, Handmaid's Tale so good. I thank you to Leilana for forcing me to watch it because damn girl, that's good.
I think Midnight Club is probably the number one priority in terms of new shows behind the Pacific. Because we have to do the Pacific.
Yes. We don't have to. I want to.
No, we have to.
No, but I want to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. You ding dong.
So priority would probably be Pacific 1, Midnight Club 2.
Alright, I gotta go get kids. Love you
That's
guys. Thank you for being here.
really
Thank
it.
you for all of the contributions.
What are you gonna,
Don't forget to like the stream.
what are you gonna do for lunch?
I don't fucking know, but I'm starving and I gotta go get kids, so I don't have time to talk.
Okay.
Or order or make or
Alright.
do.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye. Hi, Penny.
Now you're stuck with me. I will not give details on my work. But I do video, editing, production, social media stuff.
It's fucking raining. There's water falling from the sky in Southern California. This is shocking.
I mean, it's October.
And the kids are in shorts. This is gonna be bad.
I use Premiere Pro to edit. I am absolutely a Baratheon. I'm more a Stark. I'm a Stark. We're definitely going to watch the Pacific. Just a matter of when we can get it into the schedule. Am I still team neutral? When it comes to like specifically talking about Alicent and Rhaenyra, yes. But I'm all the way in on Daemon. I think he's the most fascinating character in the show. Even though Aemond is slowly creeping up that list after this last episode, because I cheer for chaos. Is Midnight Club good? I don't know. I haven't seen it. Love the content from Italy. Hell yeah! Almost finished with my tour. Can't wait to go back to the States and watch episodes live instead of 4. Ooh, that's tough. Tywin or Damon? Damon. What do I think of She-Hulk? It's one of the worst shows I've ever watched. I haven't caught up on the Daredevil episode yet. Is She-Hulk really that bad? I think so. I don't think it's funny. I think the writing's terrible. I think the CGI is shit. The action is non-existent. I mean, you should check it out for yourself, because who am I? Andor was awesome. I think it's one of the worst written shows that I've seen in the last, 3 years. The fourth wall breaks are lame. The characters in the show, even the ones that we know from the MCU, I don't want to see Wong ever again. I just it's supposed to be a funny show, and I don't think it's funny. Booty cheeks. Yeah, he's now being called Wongers. Wongers. So lame. I'm sorry. I just think it's lame. They massacred Daredevil. Why are you banned? I think you're saying questionable things in the chat. Last Kingdom's amazing so far. See, I don't have a history with Daredevil, so once I watch the episode, it's going to be... Because they're being removed, because you're saying inappropriate shit. I would assume that's why. Or the messages are so bad that they're getting auto-blocked by YouTube. How do you compare House of the Dragons Season 1, Game of Thrones Season 1? Which you like more? I don't know, I gotta go back. I see everything. Even if it doesn't make it through, unless a moderator deletes it. But if something is being held by YouTube, I see it. When's the new Last Kingdom reaction? It was posted the other day. Do you guys vote in your poll? I think that could be the reason. No, we don't vote in the poll. That shouldn't matter. It's not a certain number of people out of how many people are here. It should just split the votes. I can't answer anything comparing Last Kingdom to Game of Thrones yet. We're coming to the end of season 2. I haven't seen Lord of the Rings, so I don't have any opinion of Lord of the Rings. Is it just me, or is Last Kingdom exactly like Vikings? It's not exactly like Vikings. It follows the same world to an extent. Yeah, I don't care about what the consensus says about anything. I form my own opinions. Black Sails is in my god tier level of shows. Helena is interesting. You have to pay attention to everything she's saying. If you have suggestions, this isn't the place for them, just let you guys know. And I have watched Californication. What, right here? My Mando helmet? You gotta keep going on Black Sails. Yeah, it's a Mando helmet. Like, that's not Mando. This creepy ass fucker right here. Do I have any suggestions? I mean, The Last Kingdom, Black Sails. I'd watch those. Black Sails is one of the best shows ever created that I've seen personally. The storytelling, the writing, the characters, it's all flawless. People will complain that the first season's a little slow, but saying that the first season of Black Sails is slow is just a lack of understanding of what they're trying to do, in my opinion. There's so much story and world building. What's for lunch? I usually do sandwiches on these days, but I'm not sure. I wonder what this weather's going to do to today's Dodgers game. No, they're game 1 and 2. Game 1 is yesterday, game 2 today. And then off day is tomorrow. And then they play Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I mean, the Dodgers better be killing it this year. They have, like, almost a all-star lineup. Like, literally. They have a former Rookie of the Year / MVP batting 9th. It's like, hello? So, Osh? Is House of the Dragons good? Yes, it's amazing. Yeah, they pull out the tarp. If the rain is meant to last a while, they will not play the game. We're not that far from the stadium, and it sounds like it's raining really hard. Alright guys, it's past 2. I've got some stuff to do. Haha, see what I did there? Go get a sandwich. Probably. Again, thank you all for the contributions. We appreciate you very much. It is very much appreciated and very helpful. Because, like we said, we're working hard, trying to make this a forever thing. And the contributions help a lot. Joining the channel helps. And you get fun little perks, so... I didn't really, like, I watched the Last of Us trailer, but I didn't really watch it, if you know what I mean. So, it looks cool. Nikki wants Cuban? I wonder if practice will get canceled today. We don't really have good Cuban in where we live, and I'm not driving 45 minutes to go get it. It's rainy, windy, and hot. That's a bad combo. And don't forget to hit the like button on the way out. Appreciate y'all very much. Movie night, Halloween ends on Saturday. More time for video games. Maybe. Really enjoy this stuff. So, once House of the Dragon's over, we're going to have to keep the podcast going. So we're going to need topics and things to talk about. So... joining the channel helps drive those conversations because we take all your questions and stuff. And always looking for suggestions, so. We will talk to you guys later. Let's really hope Halloween ends. RB just lost me. Andor's boring as hell. The opposite. Hope you guys have a good one. Peace!